Okay, magandang araw sa inyo lahat, Ring Roadmap PH. At ngayong araw na to ay pag-uusapan natin yung naging laban ni Takuma Inoue at ni Jerwin Ancajas. Una sa lahat, wag natin sisihin yung Hapon, wag natin sisihin yung, or wag natin i-bash yung mga Pinoy, wag natin i-bash yung mga Hapon. Kasi sobrang galing talaga, sobrang linis ng mga panalo ng mga Hapon itong nakaraan. Junto nakatali yung Rico Masuda, napakagaling din. Ang ganda ng pagplante niya ng body shot. Ganon din kay Takuma Inoue, ang ganda ng head movement. In my opinion, actually, mas maganda yung galaw ni Takuma kaysa kay Inoue in terms of head movement, foot movement. Si Inoue kasi medyo stationary. Nagiging stationary siya lalo pag alam niyang kaya niyang tanggapin yung suntok ng kalaban. Si Takuma, mas marami siyang galaw, mas marami siyang feints. And so I think he's a better mover than his brother. Okay, so ngayong araw na to ay titignan natin yung mga ginawa nila sa laban na to. So una natin makikita, right off the bat, okay, ay in-establish agad netong si Takuma Inoue yung kanyang check hook. So kada pasok ni Jerwin Ancajas ng jab, lagi nakaabang itong check hook ni Takuma Inoue. So dito makikita nyo kasi napakabigat ng paa ng mga Pilipino. Ewan ko ba kung bakit napakabibigat ng mga paa ng mga Pilipino boxing hero. We guys should work on this. And I mentioned this in my Instagram reel. Sabi ko, work on your first step quickness. We should focus on lifting our feet from the ground as low as we can or as minimal as possible every time we step in. And we can know this based on the sound kapag tumatapak tayo sa canvas, okay? Or kung humahakbang tayo paharap sa canvas. Maririnig nyo yung diferensya sa tunog. Kapag magaan yung paa ng isang boxing hero, it barely makes a sound. Their feet barely makes a sound every time they step on the canvas, okay? So again here, he's gonna try that jab. Let's see, jab, and then here, Takuma will first throw an uppercut to the body, sabay check hook doon. Again, nahuli na naman si Jerwin in that particular instance. So we'll make this quick kasi marami pa tayong pag-usapan. So here, let's see this one. He's gonna do that check hook once again as Jerwin there. Jerwin actually tried to come with a jab to the body or a lead hook, I'm not sure. And then here he's gonna try that jab once again. And all Takuma does here is he goes over the top with that check hook. Hindi naman tumama, pero again, it forces Jerwin to back up and to not finish his combination anymore, okay? So, susubukan ko hindi masyado mag-English. Susunod natin titingnan kay Jerwin, dahil hindi gumagana yung jab, ay bumato na siya ng mga lead hook o yung right hook. So dito makikita natin yung lead hook na yun. Kasi pag gumamit kayo ng lead hook imbes na jab, mas less susceptible kayo dun sa check hook ng kalaban. Okay? So let's see another one here. He's gonna try to lead with that right hook once again. But then Takuma steps back. And then he throws a check hook of his own. Pero doon nakita nyo, pagkatapos ng unang check, or pagkatapos ng unang right hook ni Jerwin, bumunto ulit siya ng right hook at yun, medyo tumama yun kay Takuma. Kaso hindi na ganun kadiin, no? So next thing we'll see from Jerwin is that he's gonna let that left hand go. Why does he let that left hand go? Because every time nababato kayo ng check hook, pupunta dito yung ulo nyo. Okay, so you will blade your body to that right side, tapos sasandal kayo sa side na yun. Ano mangyayari? Yung ulo nyo tatapat sa kaliwang kamay ng southpaw. Okay? So yung ulo ni Takuma dito tumapat sa kaliwang balikat ni Jerwin. Ano ibig sabihin niya? Kada bato ni Jerwin ng jab, yung ulo ni Takuma pupunta sa side na yun, and Jerwin can follow up with that left hand. Okay? So brilliant strategy here by Jerwin because early on, puro jab lang siya ng jab, walang left hand. And that's why he was getting countered with the hook. So in this instance, yes, pwede pa rin siyang makounter ng hook ni Takuma Inoue, pero tatama na rin yung kanyang sariling left hand. So pareho silang magkakaroon ng points. Pareho silang makakaland ng kanilang suntok. Okay? Straight punch kay Jerwin, samantalang check hook naman para kay Takuma Inoue. So let's see another one of those. He's gonna step in hard here. He's gonna come in with that 1-2. Okay, so jab to the head, cross here. And then there, Takuma tried to throw a check hook. Another benefit of letting that left hand go, if you're a southpaw, is that pwedeng mas mother yung check hook ng kalaban ninyo. So dito makikita nyo na dahil sobrang lapit na ni Jerwin, okay, medyo nas mother na yung suntok o yung check hook na itong si Takuma Inoue. So let's see this last 1-2. So Jerwin will try to come in again with that 1-2. Pero dito natamaan na siya ng check hook, okay? Pero hindi na ganun kalakas. Bakit? Kasi mas malapit na yung ulo niya ngayon, okay? Hindi na siya ganun kalayo to the point na talagang mapupunta or talagang may hit netong si Takuma Inoue yung pressure point at magiging accurate yung check hook niya. Medyo na smother na yung suntok at that point, no? So the next thing we'll see is that jab counter. So as Jerwin came in with that left hand, imbes na bumato si Takuma ng check hook, at maposisyon niya yung ulo niya sa sa posisyon na bukas para sa left straight na tong si Jerwin Ancajas. Ang ginawa niya, bumato lang siya ng jab counter. Okay, habang umaabante or habang bumabato itong si Jerwin. At ang ibig sabihin nun, yung ulo niya ay mas magiging sentro or mas magiging centered. Hindi siya gigilid masyado at hindi mapupunta sa path ng left hand ni Jerwin yung kanyang ulo. Okay, so that's why he decided to counter with the jab instead of a check hook. Let's see this one again. So here again, makita nyo, imbes na check hook niya yung babato niya counter, bumato na lang siya ng jab. Very easy, low commitment, low risk type of punch. At hindi na siya ganun ka off balance to the point na mahuli siya ng left hand na itong si Jerwin Ancajas. Okay? Susunod na makikita dito ay yung right hand counter na itong si Takuma. So pinakawalan niya ng right hand niya mga mid-rounds. And here he caught si Jerwin with a nice right hand down the pipe. Another one right there. Let's see another one. So here again, dahil pareho silang bladed pareho silang nagbe-blade. So for Jerwin, he likes to blade on his left side and he puts his head on the path with the right hand of Takuma. And for Takuma, he likes to blade on the right side and he puts his head on the path for the left hand of Jerwin. So pareho silang susceptible for that same straight punch. And it was mainly about who's faster, who times their punch better, pero pareho talaga silang nakakalan ng straight punches. So in the mid-rounds, it was Takuma mostly landing the straight punches as opposed to Jerwin, who's barely landing anything. So now, in the middle rounds, they decided to fight inside, okay? Which was advantageous for Jerwin kasi mas mabigat itong si Jerwin at mas sanay talaga siya sa ganitong labanan. Si Takuma is medyo sanay mas sanay si Takuma sa labas talaga, long range. Okay, so this fight, it was actually advantageous for Jerwin, but what surprised me was that in terms of who landed the better shots, I think Takuma landed the better shot on the inside, and in the end, he was the one who was doing most of the damage. Most of the damage that Jerwin was putting on him was the pushing and the wrestling, not much of the punching. But in terms of the punching, talagang mas maraming damage na natamo itong si Jerwin at mas maraming na land na suntok itong si Takuma on the inside. And one of those punches that Jerwin landed was that short right hook. So here you'll see that, boom. Okay, so he's gonna land that short right hook. As Takuma drops that left shoulder or that left glove, boom, he landed it right there. A very short hook, not much damage kasi hindi naman siya talagang fully loaded. So again, makikita niyo siya doon. So subukan ni Takuma na bumato ng uppercut habang nakababa yung kanyang left glove at matatamaan siya doon ng short hook on the inside. And then he does that again here. Really sneaky punch by Jerwin. The only problem was he didn't really follow it up. Okay, so dito, yuyuko si Takuma, yuyuko siya ng isang beses, yuyuko na naman, boom, good timing there by Jerwin. But it didn't have that snap, he didn't have that thud, okay? Wala nang diin, kumbaga, yung right hook ni Jerwin at this point. And then here you're gonna see him land it once again, really sneaky, you won't see it from the first look, pero makikita niyo dito, uppercut, boom, sabay short to right hook, okay? Tignan niyo ulit, uppercut, boom, short to right hook, pero again, wala na yung snap, so he wasn't really able to take advantage of this punch. At wala na yung diinong suntok niya at this point. So the next thing we'll see from Takuma is that active upper body movement on the inside. So you'll see Takuma throwing those punches, right? Throwing body shots here and then rolling. Using his head or pinning his head on the shoulders of Jerwin here. And then here, rolling under that right hook. Tapos sabay sandal sa kanang balikat itong si Jerwin Ancajas. Tapos again, rolling under that left hook of Jerwin. Sabay sandal na naman dito sa kanang balikat ni Jerwin. Right, really active upper body movement. Kung ikukumpara niyo yung movement ni Takuma at ni Jerwin on the inside, talagang mas active yung Takuma in a way. Mas naiwasan niya yung mga suntok. Jerwin relied so much on blocking, so much on taking those punches, and he relied so much on his chin for most of the fight. And that's why he didn't really move as much. He was pretty upright. He wasn't really transferring his weight much. He's just standing shoulder width apart. Habang itong si Takuma makikita nyo, he's transferring his weight actively from the back foot. Sabay ito, pagkayuko niya dito, he's now on the front foot. And then balik sa back foot. Okay, and then 2-1 right here. Again, balik sa back foot nung yumuko siya sa may kanan. And now he's back on the front foot here. Boom, you see that? And then back on the back foot, leaning back once again. And then boom, back on the back foot. Sabay bato ng bolo uppercut there. He's just so much more active on the inside. He moves his head so much more. He transfers his weight so much more. And so kung ikukumpara niyo yung suntok, mas may diin talaga yung suntok ni Takuma. I'm not saying that pound for pound he punches harder than Jerwin, because at his best, I think Jerwin has the heavier punch between the two of them. Pero in this fight, in the late rounds, it was Takuma who had more snap on his punches, more thud. Mas may diin talaga yung suntok ni Takuma ng mga late rounds. At mas sinasama niya yung katawan niya, whereas Jerwin, it's mostly arm punches. He didn't really use his legs, he didn't really use his hips much, and that's why Takuma caused more damage than Jerwin. Most of the damage that Jerwin gave, I'm not gonna take that away. Most of the damage that Jerwin gave to Takuma was mostly from the wrestling, from the pushing, it's just from him pushing his weight around or pushing his weight on Takuma. It's not mainly with the punches or with the blows, with the body punches. It was more about the wrestling. Dun talaga napagod itong si Takuma. Not much about the punches, okay? So let's see another one of those punch and smothers. So here again, you'll see Takuma using his head or pinning his head on the left shoulder of Jerwin to hide his head, and then landing his hook right here. And then slipping right away on that right shoulder, protecting his head once again, okay? And then throwing a hook of his own. Again, moving his feet, moving his back foot right here to reestablish his position. Ducking under that shot, hiding under the elbow. Now he's hiding he's hiding behind the left shoulder of Jerwin, trying to find the openings. Whereas Jerwin, he's standing relatively upright, not really moving his head. And here you can see that Takuma really won this particular sequence, and he did this for the entirety of the fight. So now let's look at the body uppercut, knockdown and knockout. So here you see Jerwin really leaning over. This is one of the biggest no-nos, especially for inside fighters. Never ever put your head behind or never put your head ahead of your front knee. And as you can see here, Jerwin's just crouching with his upper body. It's a mistake that I've been pointing out ever since the fucking Fernando Vargas fight or Fernando Martinez fight. Nobody listened, right? He kept on doing it up to this fight, and it's what cost him, okay? It's what cost him because number one, it obscures their vision, and number two, bukas na bukas yung chan mo for that body uppercut, and you won't even see it coming kasi nakababa lang yung ulo mo, you can't really look up. And so here, Takuma started to stab with his uppercuts to the body, and that's what led to this knockout, okay? So again, Takuma's really good at smothering, really good at hiding his head behind the shoulders of Jerwin. And you can see how he stabbed that first uppercut right there. Hides under the... Well, let's see the first uppercut first, sagabal kasi yung referee dito. But he did land that first uppercut right there. It was kind of hard to see. And then again, sumandal siya dun sa left shoulder ni Jerwin, another body uppercut. And that's what led to that knockdown. So tignan pa natin yun ulit. Body uppercut there. Second body uppercut. Again, you can see Jerwin's head right here. Just kind of leaning over his knee, which is a big no-no once again for fighters who are still up and coming. Please do not do this. I don't know why Jerwin never fixed it. I've been talking about this since the first Fernando Martinez fight. This was his biggest mistake, crouching behind or crouching beyond that front knee. They never fixed it, and it's what cost him this fight. He couldn't really see shit. He didn't see that body shot coming, and he was, I'm not sure if it was weight drain, but it did look like it. Or no, he wasn't weight drain, but it's either the rehydration wasn't so good, but I can't really tell. I'm not an expert on that shit. So there he got knocked down, and that was pretty much the end of it, okay? So again, take notes from this fight, young boxers, okay? This is something that you can learn from. Lalo na yung mga Filipino boxers, every time I see Filipino boxers spar, their feet are so heavy. Why? Every time they have this fucking stomping effect every time they step in. And that's what telegraphs your shots. That's what makes your punches telegraphed. And every time you face these Japanese fighters who have fast counters, they can read that shit easily. And you can see the difference between the foot speed of Jerwin and Takuma in this fight. We Filipinos have to learn from this shit, man. You gotta wake up. It's not about power. I think for the most part, Filipino punchers or Filipino fighters have more power than these Japanese fighters. But it's the foot speed, it's the hand speed, it's the active movement, right? Feints. Gotta work on this shit. Anyway, that was it for this video. Subscribe if you're new. Ayoko masyado mag-rank, but yeah, this is definitely something that we should take notes from, and hopefully this video help you out. So subscribe if you're new. I have my main channel as well. I have my Instagram as well. You can follow me there for some short reels at ayun, maraming salamat sa panonood. Peace out.